So, this movie is titled The Birds of Prey, but this movie focuses on just one bird. And an interesting one, if I might add. It's Harley Quinn. Now, Quinn is the Joker's girlfriend and becomes his ex early on in the movie. Now, what is this movie really about? Basically, it's about Quinn being on the path to forge her own identity after her breakup with the Joker. You heard that right. The crown prince of villains of Gotham City. The Batman's arch enemy, the Joker. Now, if you've known the Joker from the Dark Knight days, you'd never envision him having a love interest, really. Yeah, but let's move on. So there are two ways of looking at the main character Harley Quinn in the movie. You can look at her as the Joker's better half, which raises the bar pretty high, even for a psychotic criminal like Harley Quinn. Or you could just look at Harley Quinn individually, in which case you can accept this character more easily, which is what she's trying to assert throughout the movie. That is, make the world accept her as Harley Quinn and not as the Joker's girlfriend. And then her decision of breaking free makes that much more sense. Although one would really get the creeps as to what kind of a creepy mind would actually fall in love with the father of anarchy, the Joker. Obviously, the answer is Harley Quinn, the one and only. So this is a story of a journey to self-emancipation or freeing oneself of the influences or dependencies of life. Harley's biggest dependency of them all would definitely be her dependency on the Joker. She was just somebody in the Joker's shadow. Her identity, her influence, protection from other mafia and thugs were all dependent on her relationship with the Joker. So, in that, the creators of the film give out their message loud and clear. Are our identities dependent on someone else? Are we living in the shadow of someone? Maybe our parents or siblings or relatives. Such identities are meant to be shared away. The longer they drag, the more toxic it can be for us to form our own real and permanent identity. The film is totally Harley Quinn's perspective and narrative of her own life. The movie at its core is devoted to Harley coming to terms and getting over the raw deal she gets because of her decision to break free from the Joker, predictably unleashing a huge wave of attacks from her innumerable enemies whom she had infuriated in one way or the other while she was connected with the Joker, who, when they realize that she doesn't belong to the Joker anymore, come rushing out of the woodwork. Oh, and by the way, there's hardly any screen time for the legendary Joker. What a shame. Or maybe not, because after all, this movie is really about Harley Quinn. But it still reminds me of the tremendous void left by the Joker, played by Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, whose shoes can't be worn by just about someone else. So that seems to be a safe bet by the creators of the movie, keeping the Joker in the shadows and focusing on Harley Quinn. Her biggest enemy, Roman Sionis, is just a creepy thug, played by Ewan McGregor, who peels off the faces of the people he wants to punish. He hates Harley the most, it seems, but always restrains himself at Harley's intolerable outbursts, since he fears the Joker. The movie itself is more of a visual treat than anything else. It has bold use of colors, not just makeup on Harley Quinn and a colorful attire, but the whole movie is a colorful gig. For instance, she even uses some sort of gun to shoot out color bombs of some sort at the cops in the police station. It has pretty outrageously hilarious action scenes, but mind you, the action scenes are very well choreographed and totally make your day. Really well done there, and good cinematography. Harley Quinn is a slick fighter who knows how to fight just about anyone, just like the Joker. Maybe this implies that she did pick up some fighting skills from him. Safe to say this movie has a generous dose of comic relief, which makes it totally worth your time. This movie is a different breed of movies, however, as in there isn't the conventional hero versus villain plot here. Rather, it's just a group of no-gooders, including Harley Quinn, who by some random fate come together to form the group referred to as Birds of Prey, which not only helps them survive, but also rally together to protect the little girl Cassandra against the nemesis, the totally evil Roman Sionis or the Black Mask. So we have Renee Montoya, the cop, played by Rosie Perez, Harley herself, played by Margot Robbie, the Huntress played by Mary Winstead, Black Canary played by Johnny Smollett. Each one of them is looking to break the shackles of dependency in one form or the other and struggling to form their own identity, which makes them quite related in purpose. As the movie progresses, one can't help thinking that Harley might have some shades, if not all, of the eccentric Joker we have all grown to love and appreciate in many a critical movie review of The Dark Knight. However, there are key differences which I believe are deliberate in the movie. She might be extremely psychotic like the Joker, might be just another agent of death and anarchy like the Joker was. However, she does have a human side, which the Joker didn't. At times, insanity and selfishness does take leave of her, and compassion and good sense does kick in. In other words, given the right set of circumstances, she has the ability to act responsible and even selfless and brave, which makes her quite endearing, I might add. Suffice to say, Harley Quinn does leave an impression, and the whole film revolves around her. The other birds of prey are, well, just sidekicks at best or props to support the theory of Harley Quinn. Add to that, there are great action scenes and acrobatics. However, on the flip side, Roman Sionis hasn't got any depth of character. He's just an evil thug. His style of working is, if you are valuable to him, you live, else you die, which is quite predictable. No morals and cannot be trusted on his word. So there is no integrity to this evil thug. So basically what you have in the movie is Harley's character, which is a psychotic con character. But on the positive side, she also has a human side and is totally hilarious and endearing and does display integrity at times. All right, time to rate the film. I think we cannot be completely subjective when it comes to rating a film. So I have broken it down to 4 important sub-ratings. Number 1, the plot. Number 2, visually pleasing. Number 3, acting. And number 4, repeatable watch. All right, coming to the first sub-rating, plot. Now, it's quite a predictable storyline, so I would give it 4 out of 10, which translates to a below average plot. Number 2, visually pleasing. It's extremely colorful and has great cinematography, so I would have to rate it 7.5 out of 10, which is reasonably good. Acting. This is mostly attributed to the Harley Quinn character. The other characters are really shallow, so I would have to give it a rating of 6, which means it's still good. Number 4, repeatable watch. Now this is the parameter that is the most important in the whole review. This literally means whether the movie has attained an iconic status. So no, this one hasn't. So I would give it a rating of 3 out of 10. So it is not a repeatable watch. So the total score rounds up to be an average of 5.13. So does it imply that it's a trash film? No, it's not. But it's not a Dark Knight. It's a good film. Good for a one-time watch, a total fun film to watch, but don't expect to get any philosophy lessons from it. Overall, it's a good popcorn movie. That concludes the review on the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn. Hope you like it, and let me know in the comments section what you think.